Hello, welcome to this episode of our Thoughts Over Tea. I am Ozuany.
And I'm Ali. Today we got a topic you're going to love. We're chatting about some British painters who truly left their mark on art history. We'll talk about their most famous works, where to find them, and even some podcast breaks if you want to hear more.
Exactly, because when we think about British culture, people usually jumpstart to Shakespeare, the Beatles, or even Harry Potter. But there are also incredible painters who captured so much of the world.
Let's start with Joseph Malloy William Turner, or just Turner. He was a 19th century painter, often called Painter of Light. One of his most celebrated works is Venice, The Bridge of Sighs, 1840, which shows a dreamy view of Venice with soft golden light. You can see it today at Tate Britain in London.
Beautiful! Another stand-up is The Son of Venice, Going to the Sea, 1843. This depicts fish boats sailing into the sea with sunlight filtered through the sails. This one was also Tate Britain.
Then there's The Slave Ship, 1840, officially titled Slavers Throwing Overboard the Dead and Dying, Typhoon Coming On. It's a dramatic sea scene with vivid colors conveying moral outrage, displayed at the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston.
And for something early, The Destruction of Sodom, 85, shows a biblical disaster in vivid tones. Part of the Tate Britain collection, his works captured not just landscapes but also powerful narratives reflecting Britain's evolving identity during the industrial era.
Turner's work merged natural beauty, dramatic events, and the sublime. You can explore more at Tate Britain or exhibitions like Turner's Modern World at the MFA Boston and Painting Set Free, which highlight his later works.
His seascapes and landscapes feel almost alive, like moving atmospheres, and his framing of light influenced a French impressionist like Monet.
Fun fact, Turner was so private that when he died, thousands of paintings and sketches were found hidden away, works no one had ever even seen before.
I love that because it reflects something very British, the obsessed with the landscapes, the sea, and the ever-changing weather. It's like a visual diary of the nation itself.
Now, let's jump straight to another giant, Francis Bacon, from the 20th century. His paintings are intense, distorted, and sometimes unsettling.
One very notable painting is three studies of Lucian Freud, a triumph that depicts his friend and fellow artist with intense psychological power. It's a copy now in Landmark in Los Angeles.
MoMA in New York also holds several of his works, like Study for Portrait 7, 1953. Painting, 1946, Study of a Baboon, 1953, and the 1991 Triumph.
And if you want a really deep dive into his creative process, the Hack Lane Gallery in Dublin reconstructs his entire London studio, including unfinished paintings and achieved materials.
There's also an ongoing exhibition at the National Portrait Gallery in London called Francis Bacon, Human Presence, showcasing over 50 works from the 1940s onward.
Totally. Bacon captured the dark side of the human condition, twisted figures that radiate anguish and vulnerability.
And here's another fun fact. His housekeepers threw away many of his early paintings thinking they were just junk.
No way! You imagine tossing a really Bacon into trash! But at the same time, his surviving works perfectly show post-war Britain uncertainly raw and scared.
With Turner, we see the beauty of the British landscape. With Bacon, the struggles of modern life. Two very different visions, both deeply British.
If you want to hear more about these artists, here's some podcasts. The Art of Heritage, Turner's vision of England, explored 35 of Turner's paintings and what they reveal about national identity. Another one is the accessible art story, The Slave Ship by G.M.Y. Turner, a concise episode focusing on one of Turner's most powerful works. And another one is Francis Bacon Revealed, The Star of the Wit, exploring Bacon lines, storytelling, and personal within his painting world.
For a broader perspective, our curious podcast, Rivals, Turner's versus Constable, explores the 19th century British landscape paintings discourse. Podcast episode 35, Fraud, Bacon, Hackney, and the post-war London scene, covers Bacon in the context with his contemporaries.
So, there you have it. British painting isn't just varied. His reflection of what it means to live across these islands, from the midst of the seas to either a palace of the soul.
And if you're curious, go take a look at their works. You might just discover a new favorite painter to inspire you.
This has been Curls Over the Deep.
Catch you on the next time!